The top 15 best PvP options in GTA Online. What are they? Because over the last couple of years, we've received so many different weaponized vehicles and Mark II weapons that it's hard to keep track of which is the best for PvP situations. And hopefully in this video, I will answer that question. Now, this isn't going to be a typical 15 to number 1 video. It's more of like an endless circle. We're going to start somewhere, and then we're just going to work our way around the circle, talking about what each thing is good for and what counters it. So hopefully you guys do enjoy and find this video helpful, and if you do, I'd appreciate it if you could drop it a like. We're gonna start with the jets that have the explosive cannons on them, the Hydra and the Laser. Now in the gameplay, you'll see we take out a Kanjali tank and an MOC, but I do die both times because, fair warning, I suck at flying a jet. Obviously, if you're better at flying a jet, that won't happen to you, but I still get both the kills, so just sort of ignore me dying. But the Hydra and the Laser, these both destroy vehicles that are armored, that are on the ground. And the reason they do is because of dive bombing. What you can do with a Hydra or a Laser is go straight up in the air and then go straight down and shoot these vehicles. And they can't do anything about it because if you're in the tank, you can't shoot up. If you're in an MOC, you can't shoot up. If you're in a Chernobog, you can't really shoot up. So for pretty much most ground targets, the Hydra and the Laser with their explosive ammo, if you're dive bombing, they beat them every time. Now you can also take out some of the other vehicles like the Deluxo, like the Oppressor. Most helicopters, you should be able to take them out if you have a Hydra with the explosive cannon. Now those will be a little bit harder to take out, but it is still possible. But the Hydra and the Laser are mainly for armored ground opponents because of the dive bomb. Now, how do you take out a Hydra or a Laser? You could try and just endlessly shoot rockets at them. The problem with the missiles in the game, I believe even some of the better ones, if they're a good enough pilot, they can dodge them, even without flares. If they just sort of fly in a circle, the missiles, for whatever reason, don't catch up, which in turn doesn't destroy their vehicle, and you have to deal with them some more. So what you can do to take out a Hydra or a Laser pilot is get a Pyro. Now, if you don't have a Pyro, obviously that's something that you may want to look into, but if you have a Pyro, the Pyro is actually the best jet in the game for taking out other jets. If you're into dogfighting, the Pyro is the #1 option on the list of jets. And the reason is because it's so agile in the air. You can, if you're in a circle fight, you know, up in the air with a Hydra, you're just driving or flying in circles, you can easily catch up to them or get them in your sights because of how good the handling is on the Pyro. Now again, I suck at flying a jet, so that's why it took me a little longer, but you use the regular cannons and it actually takes out the Hydra pretty quickly. I mean, it's not instant like an explosive cannon would be, but you don't have to hit them too many times before they start smoking, and then too many more times after that before they blow up. Now, the one downside with the Pyro is that it's not really good against ground vehicles because those cannons on it are really meant for aircraft and not vehicles on the ground. Now, how do you deal with Pyros? And to an extent, Hydras and some of the other air vehicles in the game? One option is to get a Chernobog. Now, the Chernobog, unfortunately, isn't that practical because you really need 2 people, and you also need to be stationary when firing from the vehicle. And by being stationary, you're a pretty big target, or a pretty easy target to hit, but the Chernobog's missiles are the best in the game. It has the longest lock-on distance, and pretty much when you lock on to a person, they're going to die. You can see in the gameplay, I took out both a Hydra dude and an Oppressor. The Hydra dude, I think I hit him. I don't think it exploded, but he ended up bailing, and obviously the Oppressor guy, there was no match. So if you have people in the air that you want to take out, and you have another friend, maybe go off the radar, set your Chernobog up, let them get in range and take them out. It's pretty easy to do. And also the Chernobog is good for any other aircraft like the Deluxos, like the helicopters. The only downside is that you can't really aim straight up, so if someone does have a Hydra with the explosive cannons and they just dive bomb you, they can easily kill you. Now, how do you kill a Chernobog apart from dive bombing it with a Hydra? It's very simple. You just shoot it with an explosive. Now, I wanted to show the explosive sniper against the Chernobog, but my friend here didn't actually have an explosive sniper, so we improvised, and he used an explosive shotgun, and it only took like 3 bullets from the explosive shotgun to kill it, so the sniper is going to be the same way. Alternatively, you can just use a homing missile or an RPG, and that should blow it up in like 1 shot. It doesn't have any armor, which is the one downside to it. Now, speaking of the explosive sniper, it is actually pretty damn good for a ton of other PvP scenarios. It is good for most flying weaponized vehicles. So if you see a Deluxo, a Buzzard, if you have enough accuracy, the Oppressor, and sometimes even the Hydra, the explosive sniper just destroys them because it only takes a couple of bullets to kill and explode those vehicles. And if you're a decent enough aimer, you can easily take them out because they aren't really the most agile and quick vehicles in the game. And the best part, when you're fighting those weaponized vehicles on foot, they can't lock onto you, so they have to be very, very accurate to take you out. So how do you take out the explosive sniper? Well, you use the marksman rifle. Assuming you're on the same, like, even ground, the marksman rifle will win in a battle against the explosive sniper 9 times out of 10. Actually, in the gameplay, we ended up killing each other the first time, but the second time, I killed him. And the reason is because they have to get pretty lucky when hitting you, where you can just spam, and all you have to do is hit them twice with the marksman rifle, and you'll kill them. Now, continuing through the circle, how do we take out marksman rifle people? They are very annoying sometimes, and this way I'm going to show you guys isn't like the greatest way to take them out, but it is a way I've taken out people in the past. You use an oppressor, and the reason I say use an oppressor is because, especially on console, you're going to get up right close to them, and when they're zoomed in with their marksman rifle, it's hard for them to quickly react to where you're going. So unless you're just driving in a straight line, it's going to be very hard for them to kill you. And what you can do with the oppressor is just dive bomb them with your missiles. Like, you just boost straight up in the air, then you aim straight down, and then you start shooting missiles, hoping you kill them. Now, there may be some better ways to take out these marksman rifle people. Maybe you take out the armored Kuruma or something, but this is one of the ways I've done it, simply because it's so quick to get your oppressor and then to take them out. Now, oppressors, how do we take them out? I did say at the beginning that the Hydra, if you're good enough, you can take out an oppressor, and that's true. Same goes for the Chernobog, but one good way to take out the oppressor is with the Deluxo. The Deluxo, if you have it, is pretty good because, well, 1, you can fly it endlessly, and 2, the missiles are a little bit better, I believe, than the oppressors. So when you're going straight on, head on with someone with an oppressor and you're in a Deluxo, I mean, it's easy. I killed the guy. It took 1 or 2 missiles. The only problem is that sometimes in a Deluxo, because you don't have any armor, if one of their missiles does hit you, you will die and you will explode. And I have had this happen multiple times. You get into a fight with an oppressor or with even another Deluxo, perhaps. You both shoot rockets at each other and then you both die because there's nothing you can really do about it. So in that case, what takes out Deluxos, oppressors, vigilantes, buzzards, pretty much any vehicle that has those crazy lock-on missiles, Runer 2000s, the Stromberg. Now, I made a video on this the other day, so most of you guys probably should know this by now, but the Stromberg just destroys those vehicles I mentioned, and the reason it does is because of its armor. The Stromberg can take, I think, 5 homing missile shots before, maybe even 6, before it blows up. So that means someone in a Deluxo or an oppressor or a vigilante has to hit you 5 or 6 times with their missiles before they kill you, and you only have to hit them once. And the Stromberg's missiles are the exact same as some of the other missiles in that once you lock on, they're pretty much killing that person. The only difference is that you have to be somewhat close to them to lock on. The lock on distance is actually a little bit shorter than the oppressor, the Deluxo, and other vehicles. But the Stromberg is definitely one of the best vehicles in online to take out those annoying people using the Deluxo, the oppressor, and some of those vehicles. But even the Stromberg itself isn't the best vehicle in the game. How do you take out a Stromberg, you may be asking? Well, there's really one way. I mean, I guess technically you could shoot them out of the driver's seat because it's a pretty open window, but to take out a Stromberg person with some disrespect, what you're going to want to do become a CEO and start the fully loaded CEO mission. Now, to actually start this, you do need a Runer 2000 purchased, but if you have that purchase, start up that mission and use the fully loaded Runer that it gives you. You're gonna have to go get it. Once you get it though, this thing is probably one of the most overpowered vehicles in the game. It takes like 50 rockets to blow it up. It has unlimited rockets for you to shoot, and actually the best part about using this is that since you're in a CEO mission, you don't get cops on you, so you can do whatever you want and the cops will not come after you. But this fully loaded Runer, this thing destroys Strombergs, it destroys Oppressors, the Luxos, Hydras. I mean, anything that comes near it, tanks even, it can destroy that. Like anything that comes near it, this thing is gonna destroy it. And the reason is because it has unlimited missiles and the lock-on is there, and it's almost indestructible. And even if someone does manage to blow it up, a new one will spawn and you just got to go get that. So if you really are looking to do some damage, the fully loaded Runer is the thing you're going to want to do it in. Now, to take people out in a fully loaded Runer, it's actually pretty simple. I've had it happen to me multiple times because you tend to get over cocky a little bit, and it's pretty easy to just shoot you out of it. So good aim with a gun or like a marksman sniper can take him out, or you can see my friends here use the minigun to take me out, and that does a pretty good job. And again, when you're shooting people on the ground, you can't lock onto them, so it makes it a little harder. Now, in most situations, if they're a good enough fully loaded Runer driver, they'll just drive away and wait, but you can take them out pretty easily with a normal gun. And then the final thing to take out people on the ground with guns, whether it is a minigun or a marksman sniper or an explosive sniper, you have a couple of options. The Conjali tank destroys people on the ground. I mean, I think that's a given considering it's a freaking tank. And the best part, it's a personal vehicle, so you can spawn it right next to you. The MOC actually destroys people on the ground, and I find it hilarious when I use the MOC to destroy people that are trying to kill me, because you just back up and they can't shoot you because there's no windows on the back of it, and you just back up, shoot them, or back up, run them over, and there's nothing that they can do about it. Now, two vehicles I didn't mention throughout this entire video, the Hunter and the Akula. These, I guess, would fit in this category that we're talking about because they're really, really deadly against people on the ground and even vehicles on the ground. Now, the Hunter has a little bit more firepower, whereas the Akula has the cool stealth feature, which makes you not appear on the radar. Both of them can withstand about 3 homing missiles, and the Hunter actually has flares, where the Akula doesn't. If you're a really good helicopter pilot, you can definitely do a ton of damage with these vehicles, especially the Akula. You could pop in and out of stealth, and people really won't know where you're coming from. With the Hunter, you have the bombs you can drop on people. You have the barrage missiles you can use. Like, you have a ton of different weapons, and you do have the flares if someone does shoot rockets at you. But like the two other vehicles, the Conjali tank and the MOC, a jet can pretty easily take you out with their explosive cannon. So that's what sort of makes it come full circle. Now, one of the final vehicles I did forget to mention was the Avenger, and the reason I didn't really mention it much in this video is because it kind of takes like a full crew to run it. Not only do you need a pilot, but you need a co-pilot because they are in control of the flares if someone shoots rockets at you, and then obviously you need people in the back to shoot the cannons. But it, like these vehicles I just mentioned, does really, really well against ground vehicles. I mean, it's really, really good. The one downside is that it can get shot by a jet from above because there are no cannons on the top. So there you guys have it. It all comes full circle. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. Hopefully you now know some of the best PvP options in the game and what scenario you should use them in. Thank you all for watching though. Please drop the video a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe for more awesome GTA Online content. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.